Hello, everybody, and today I'm here to review The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So this is the next review of the 2024 movies I saw. So I saw this in theaters around May with my friend, and we were the only ones in the theater, me, him, and his girlfriend, and we all had a great time, of course, when seeing this movie, and this is the fourth, I guess you can say, the continuation of the Planet of the Apes movies, the Caesar trilogy. So I've only reviewed Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I don't know why I've not reviewed the other two. But for this movie, it is definitely a solid sequel to the other three movies. It feels like it could be a new trilogy in itself. And honestly, it could be set up for the other very old Planet of the Apes movies. Since I don't know if those movies are canon to these newer movies, since they kind of follow different themes and the apes look a lot different. But I don't know. But this movie is more about a war going on between the apes. And they meet a human character named, I think her name is May. But the two apes in this movie, I think their names are, I do have the IMDb. I think their names are Noah and Raka. So those characters meet up after a ambush goes on from the apes who worship Caesar generations later after he has died. We even see his corpse. I was wondering if Andy Serkis was going to be in this movie, but unfortunately Caesar died in the last movie. Spoilers. But they honor his memory, but seems like decades later, since we don't know when this movie takes place, in the far, far future, since that's the plot twist with Planet of the Apes, it's basically where new apes are viewing Caesar as like some sort of messiah, but they're going about his teachings a very wrong way. But the two main apes, they're trying to do good. They're trying to rally together good apes and take them on the right path. But various crazy things happen throughout this movie. We get a lot of action scenes with the apes where they fall off various cliffs, fires happen, and it's very intense. And we get a lot of scenes of where the characters are going into the woods. Our main character, he honestly is interesting enough. I think his name is Neo, the main ape. This guy. His character was interesting. I don't think he's as good as Caesar as the main character, but he definitely got some vibes from Caesar. For sure, like him trying to teach his ways, basically, trying to learn. Ever since his father dies in the main scene, opening of this scene. But when they do encounter the human character, her name is May, like I said earlier, and she first starts off as a cave woman who is very confused. She doesn't speak much English. But later in the movie, it's revealed that she can speak, and she knows what fully is going on when they do get attacked by the tribe of apes. But when they do go on the journey, they basically cross like a giant bridge, and I think his name is this ape. He ends up sacrificing himself to save the two, but when she reveals herself to talk, she starts to act human, and the apes are wondering if there are more humans out there, since they are, if you don't know, in Planet of the Apes, the apes basically hunt the humans and treat them as we humans treat apes in our real world. So it's a nice, interesting parallel. But it's later revealed at the end of the movie there are a bunch of humans out there trying to communicate with Earth and trying to get signal to help each other. Because if you don't know, in these movies, the human race is basically extinct because of a virus that was basically created by the scientists who were trying to experiment on the apes, and now basically the kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is now just full of apes. But the main ape in this movie, I think he doesn't really have a name, but he's basically like a giant King Kong, and he's rallying his army of the apes. But when we do get various scenes of our characters encountering the bad apes, they basically are, you almost feel like they're endangered, basically. But it all leads down to in the finale. I'm kind of jumping a lot in this movie, so sorry. But basically, our main characters end up having a final battle with the king ape, and like she ends up having to give it a choice to either stay with the apes or betray them, the bad ones, and she basically causes a giant flood to happen. And I feel like I've seen this of other movies like Avatar, for example, or The Batman. So that's what I was noticing when I saw this movie. But she decides to stay away from the apes, and she ends up escaping. But our Neo first goes up against the king ape, and he almost drowns him when he tries to escape, when they do find like a secret abandoned area in the lair for the apes. But when they do find the research they need and sources they need to make a signal, that I think Neo does take it. But basically, we think the king ape is dead until the main one finds his way out with a bunch of group of apes, and they basically have a finale where he literally destroys Neo to death, and he's literally bleeding. But what happens earlier in the movie, where he was encouraged to sing a song that his father sang, but he decides not to. But at the end of the finale, he decides to sing it. That causes a bunch of eagles to come, and it takes out the king ape, the King Caesar, and he basically falls to his death. And yeah, it was definitely a wild way to die. But May ends up reuniting with Neo, and he ends up helping her find her way back to the humans, and that's where they find their main source of signal, and the humans can now find their help they need to escape the jungle land of the apes. So what I really do like about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is the apes themselves. I think this movie did get nominated for an Oscar for the visual effects, because the apes look amazing in this. Like, they actually look like apes. And definitely intelligent apes for sure. And the action was definitely intense for sure. Yeah, I got some Avatar vibes with this movie. It's definitely a sequel to the Caesar trilogy. It's like a new beginning, basically, for these movies. And I do hope there is a sequel to the Planet of the Apes, and they honestly could do a movie similar to the very first Planet of the Apes, where astronauts crash on the planet and it's actually revealed to be a dystopian future. We could get that, but with these kind of apes. So it basically could be a reboot or a continuation of the very original Planet of the Apes movies. But we'll just have to wait and see. So I'll give Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes an 8 out of 10. It was definitely a very solid movie. I don't see as many people talking about this movie, probably because they like the Caesar trilogy. But I'll definitely have to review the other two Planet of the Apes movies, and maybe I'll review the original if I feel like it, but I don't know if I have much time to review the other Planet of the Apes movies. I'll get to it eventually. I don't know what the next review is going to be. I'll have to wait and see. So, that being said, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.